they're doing it.
Welcome back. I have Sherry Langer on here today, and she is with HICAPP, which is a part of the Council on Aging program. And it's always great to have them here this time of the year, because what they do is they have unbiased help with you trying to wade through Medicare. And welcome again.
Nice
and
to
you
see
might
you
have
again.
seen Sherry lately. She is on our recent Social Security program. We're talking about kind of the same thing, just in case you folks haven't seen that. So this is something that HICAPP does, and what's really nice here is you're not there to recommend any company or service or insurance program. You're showing people, here is what out there, here are options, and depending on what you may need, this may work for you, right?
Exactly. We are unbiased in that we don't endorse a particular plan. We don't sell any of the health plans, Medicare health plans that are out there. And we are here to just provide an educational resource for people. And right now it's open enrollment, and so we have clinics, and we have some in the area here, and that's what we wanted to make sure people in Laguna Woods are aware of.
Yeah, and so the first one, we kind of just went over what you folks do, and it's a great service, and it doesn't cost anything. Am I right?
Does not cost anything, and we have counselors. Orange County we have quite a developed HICAPP program. It's HICAPP across the country. We're part of the federal SHIP provider, and that is, every state has to have someone that gives free, unbiased counseling on Medicare. They're not selling something. And so we're the Orange County provider, our HICAPP program. We have about 70 volunteer counselors that are available. We have to be registered with the state to be able to provide the information, and we do a lot of one-on-one counseling. We have counselors that come here to the Laguna Woods weekly.
You do.
And to provide a free service, an appointment for people to sit down and talk through questions, or if they have appeal problems. But during annual enrollment, we really encourage people to do an annual review of their plan and make sure there's not changes that will affect their bottom line.
Right, and you mentioned that in the next slide, how important this is. And the reason it is, things change every year.
Things change.
Maybe the formula of the drugs you take, or the costs, or maybe you're on an Advantage program that something that you like to dropped off, or whatever it might be.
Yeah, a provider could have changed.
Yeah, so that's important. Now, the next slide, this is what I want to ask you about, or something that was asked. Actually, it was my father-in-law who asked me to ask you. Here we see what you can do as far as changes, and let's talk about going from what people might say called straight Medicare, meaning not Advantage. You're getting your Part D, and you have the Part F.
If that's a supplemental
That's
plan.
a supplemental.
A Medigap.
Medigap, and a lot of people do have that.
If they're on original we call it original Medicare.
Original.
Straight Medicare.
So
it's called different things.
Can you go back and forth between the two? Let's say you hit that age, which 65, whatever it is, and you start off with original Medicare, and you have the Part D and the Part F and things like that. Now, can you go over to Advantage program the next year or 5 years later, and then decide, no, I want to go back to original Medicare?
Yes, you can make the changes from we call them pathways. So you have the pathway of original Medicare, or you have a pathway of a Medicare Advantage plan, one of the network plans.
Right.
And you can make the changes. The problem is, usually when you make a pathway change, I really encourage people to talk to a counselor, because there can be some questions that you need to think carefully about.
Right.
And one of which is that when you first go on Medicare, you have a guaranteed issue of being able to buy one of those supplemental plans.
And that's what he was asking about.
And then, so if down the road, or let's say you're on a Medicare Advantage plan and you're going, I want to go on original Medicare. That is, you can make that change, but that doesn't mean the same guaranteed issue travels with you with that Medigap, that supplemental plan.
Right.
So after that initial period when you have gone on Medicare, and you have that at 65, you have that guaranteed issue. Let's say 5 years down the road, you want to make the change. You will be subject to, generally speaking, you will be subject to whatever medical underwriting that company that is providing that plan has.
Right.
And so that's where people need to be aware of all the the different aspects that could affect whether or not they'd get that plan. Maybe they'd get the plan, but it would cost more than it did originally.
And that's exactly what he was asking, because I wasn't aware of that. I just said, yeah, I know you can go back and forth, but he was going, well, you know,
there can be different rules.
If you're on plan
the mini-gaps.
Correct. If you go back to it, you may still be able to get that, but the cost could be a lot higher.
There could be differences than you had originally. Yeah, and that's helpful.
All right. Now, we are in annual enrollment, and one of the nice things that you folks do is you have clinics around the area.
We do.
And these are really great because, again, you just saw, Sherry just answered a question that is very pertinent. And people are going to have that question because some people may say, well, do I want to go on an Advantage program? Maybe deductibles are higher, or maybe it only covers so much of hospital costs or whatever it might be. You know, there's that fear of just what we talked about, going back
What
and
are the questions that you're not even asking?
Yeah.
And that's what our counselors are trained to be thinking and have been working with people to be able to help them think through their options. And during our annual enrollment clinics, what we will be able to do for people is that we encourage people just to come on in and bring whatever plan they might be on. We can plug it into the Medicare.gov, has a search engine that compares plans.
Yeah.
And what we can do is look at a particular plan and get an estimated cost, let's see, whatever their plan is for the coming year, for 2019. And then you can see if, there's some changes going on. Hopefully everybody has received by now their annual, we call it an ANOC, annual notice of change.
Okay.
So the company of the plan has to indicate to people that are beneficiaries what changes are happening, because they might drop a drug or change a tier level.
The thing is, it could be in a booklet, 100 pages thick.
Correct.
And most people it's hard to wade through that for anyone.
It is. Yeah. It is hard. And so our counselors at our clinics can take a look at what their plan is, estimated costs for the next year, but compare it to some of the other plans that are out there and see what their estimated costs are. And so they can just get an idea. Maybe you have the best plan possible, but that gives you peace of mind.
Right.
Otherwise, you might go, there's some changes here in the drug formularies, and maybe there's a different drug plan that might cover all my needs, my health needs and my prescription drugs, but may cost me a little less.
Yeah. Now let's talk about some Medicare costs with the two Medicare programs. And, again, between original Medicare and maybe Advantage. An Advantage program, you may not be paying personally out of pocket any kind of premiums per month, where original Medicare you do. Am I right?
Well, everybody will pay, the Part B premium is everyone will pay.
Okay.
Regardless if you're on original Medicare or Medicare Advantage plan. So everyone pays that. And then your Medicare Advantage plan may or may not have a premium. Last year, about half of them had a monthly premium, the other half didn't.
But you still pay the B, and that comes out of...
You still pay the B. If you're on Social Security, receiving that, it automatically comes out. If you're not yet on, but you're on Medicare, you can, they will quarterly bill you, so.
Okay, so that means if somebody is still working full-time, but have chosen to go on Medicare rather than companies...
Correct.
They will
be billed,
they'll be billed. Okay, now if somebody is still working, do they have to go on Medicare?
Well,
or is that up to the company to say, hey, we want you off our plan now?
We encourage people to talk to the benefit administrator of their company and their plan, partly because there's some different rules that apply. If it's a small company, that company will probably be requiring them to go on Medicare, because if it's like under 20 employees, then Medicare is primary.
Okay.
But in a lot of cases, people that are from bigger company plans, they will have the option to go on A, or a lot of people will go on A and delay B, because you have to pay your premium for B, but A for most people, it's free because they've been paying into the FICA tax.
Okay.
And so we encourage people to talk to the benefit administrator because there's a few rules that can apply, like if you're on a health savings account and you're continuing to work and contributing to a health savings account, there are some rules that apply with Medicare. And the benefit administrator should know those, or they could call our office because we have counselors, I mentioned at the beginning, but we also have a call center that's available Monday through Friday, and people can just call and say, hey, this is my situation. Can you talk through any of the things that I should be aware of?
So does that mean you can go on A without going on B?
Yes, what you can do, many people that are continuing to work and on a group health plan, employer's group health plan, they will go on A, and so they will just sign up for A and delay Part B until they're no longer covered by that employer's group health plan. And then they'll have a special enrollment period of a period of time to be able to sign up for B.
So B is the drug part of it?
B is your, Part A is your hospitalization. B is your, think outpatient. It's your medical expenses, like your doctor's appointment, durable medical equipment, things of that nature. D is your drug plan.
All right, D for drug. All right. Very good. Now, people who want to come to an appointment with you folks, we're going to show a list of things they need to bring.
Yes, we would encourage them to bring their Medicare card, and then if they're on a Medicare Advantage plan or a particular standalone drug plan, to bring those cards along. And then we need an accurate list of their drugs. And they can bring in the drugs in a bag if they'd like, but if they bring a list, we need to know the correct spelling of the drug, but also the dosage and the frequency, because that's what we plug into our search engine and get a good estimate for the next year.
All right. Now, the appointments, we're going to have an information about this, but you are having a couple forums, if you want to call them that, coming up that people can go to, and that will be October 30th, November 9th, and November 28th. So the October 30th is the one at the City Hall.
Yes, the one coming up next week is at City Hall, and then the next one coming up on November 9th is at the Clubhouse 3.
And then in the Florence Sylvester
and then
at the end of November.
at the end if they need that time frame.
So we're going to give you the numbers, though, that people can call for a specific appointment, right?
Yes, and they can, the numbers are on that last slide, but social services here at Laguna Woods is doing the sign-ups for us, and we are very grateful for that.
That's really good. Well, I'm grateful for you to come on. You can see how confusing it can be, and you know, they don't make it easy, but HICAPP and the people who help you will help you wade through it a lot easier and get you at least pointed in the right direction.
Yes. And if people have questions, we are now getting all the information about the changes for 2019, the rate increases, things like that. People can give our office a call if they have some questions about some of that, or sign up for one of our clinics and come in and get an estimate and then find out any other questions they might have.
These companies wait till the last minute. It would be nice if they were required to have this in August and give people 2 months to really
They're
research.
Supposed to have it done by September 30th now. That's the rule.
Doesn't give people a lot of time. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Ken.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
We'll be right back.